Today I'm going to talk about how to write a movie review. My goal is to show students who might be curious about writing for the forum but really don't know how to get started that a movie review is a good place to start. The example I have on the screen here is a review published by the Chicago Reader of the movie Joker. Note that it's short, only 172 words, so writing a review of this length is a good way to practice the skills on a much smaller scale. In comparison, the New York Times published a review of Joker that was 872 words. The structures of the two reviews are similar. The difference is in the level of detail. So if you can write a short review, you'll most likely be able to write a longer one. It will just take you a bit longer. So let's take a look at this review. It's exactly 5 sentences, so we'll talk about them one at a time. Sentence 1 is a broad overview of the storyline. Note that the adjectives here present a bit of subjectivity. The writer here, who is Ben Sachs, by the way, someone who's been writing these capsule reviews for a long time at the Reader, begins to add a bit of his take. Words like gritty and downbeat are his choices, so there's a little room there. When I say capsule review also, I mean something that's really short. They do these for music reviews and book reviews as well. Sentence 2 is plot summary. It's a long sentence, but it's one sentence. It tells a reader enough to give them a basic structure of the plot, but doesn't give too much away. Note it mentions setting here as well as character. So if I highlight set sometimes in the 1970s, and then it talks about the character and who played the character. So that's included in the plot. That's the second sentence. Sentence 3 is about theme. I'll highlight it here. Or the broader application to the outside world. In this case, Ben Sachs chooses to communicate theme by comparing the premise of Joker with other films. Book reviews do this often as a way to give readers a reference point to other books they may have read. In this case, Sachs is telling the reader that Joker is similar in theme to the films Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. The review also makes a reference to the DSM era, which I had to look up. It's a famous reference guide called Diagnostical and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. So you see how it gives the reader an idea about the focus of the film, that it's not just this entertaining story of a villain, but a story that has greater psychological implications. So that's theme. Sentence 4 is what interests me most about your review. What you think. Note that Sachs makes another reference to orient the reader and then give his assessment. Okay, so he talks about the Batman series, the Dark Knight trilogy, something that people are familiar with. But then right afterward, he says, I found this superior, the characterization's more interesting and genuine. So that's it, really, what he says. Honestly, I don't think he does enough of this in this review. And I guess it depends on what your editor wants, but I think readers of the forum are most interested in your assessment of the film. So I would err on the side of a more personal statement. Something about you. Because that's what we want. And that brings me to sentence 5, which, again, doesn't interest me at all. I think Ben Sachs knows what he's doing, but his audience is not the same as yours. I do like that he adds the co-stars of the film here, but I think that could be done in the context of your assessment. You can do that anywhere in the plot, for example. Do you think they played good roles? Were they convincing? Your readers will be interested in who else is in the film, but I would use this sentence to just extend more of what you think about the film.